Sam, welcome to the Rolling Forward podcast. You spent part of your life hosting the Lonely Chapter podcast and part of it as a firefighter. Those are two very different vantage points on human struggle. What have they revealed to you about the chapters people carry alone?
Yeah, they are different, but they're also, you see a lot of the same things as well. So I've been a firefighter for 8 years and I've done the podcast for a year and a half now, I think. So it's flying by.
Yeah.
But the people I've spoken to on the podcast and the stories that I've heard and been able to share with people, I've experienced people's lives at the lowest moments. And that's where it's similar to firefighting, is because as a firefighter, you tend to be helping people on the worst day of their life.
Yeah.
In whatever scenario that is. And yeah, I think sort of that's the similarity. Obviously, the firefighting aspect is a lot more physical. This is a lot more mental. I've actually been thinking about it a little bit recently into why I started this podcast. And sorry if I'm jumping ahead, but
No, go for it.
I was thinking about the things that I've done before. So working as a firefighter, and I also did some volunteering as a Samaritans listener.
Okay.
So in the UK, we have a charity called the Samaritans, who are a 24/7, 365 days a week, anonymous helpline people can call. And it's for people going through mental health crisis, suicidal people. And I realised that I was helping people on the worst day of their life there as well. So that and the firefighting.
Yeah.
And it makes this great story to then say, and that's why I started the podcast, is to help people before they got to that point.
Yeah.
To help people understand the world around them and learn some things that maybe stop them getting to that level. And I think there is an element of that in it.
Yeah.
As cliche as it sounds.
There is, yeah.
But yeah, I'd sort of say, I don't know if that really answered the question that you asked, but
that does, yeah. This is just like a warm-up question to kind of get the viewers to know who you are and all that. So, all right, well, everyone, welcome to the Rolling Forward podcast, a podcast of people who keep rolling forward no matter what life throws at them. Real people, real stories, powered by purpose, resilience, and a drive that never ends. I'm Zach Sikora. Spina bifida didn't stop me. It just gave me a better excuse to sit down while I take over the world. Today's funny t-shirt is, this is one of my own made t-shirts. It's rolling. It says rolling with the punches, and it has a stick figure guy in a wheelchair hitting a boxing bag, and we're rolling with the punches. So if you want to get this shirt, you can find me at, you can find this shirt and many more at rollingforward.printful.me. And if you have a funny idea for a t-shirt design, throw it in the comments. It might make it into my shop. And now let's roll into today's episode with Sam. Sam, I'm super excited to have you on. Just to preface this, we don't know each other before this podcast. We've communicated a little bit, and I always like getting to know new people and all that. So, can you give us a 10,000-foot overview of who you are?
Yeah, I suppose I can. I'm someone who tries to help people, and that's obviously something that I've made clear already. But yeah, you know, I'm lucky enough to have grown up and live in like London, so a nice part of the world, very well connected. So I've not got this story of coming from nothing and building up to something that seems to be really common online. And I can understand why. I can understand the appeal of that. But like everyone in life, I think I've been through certain things that maybe in the moment I didn't really give enough thought to and enough appreciation of how they might shape me going forward. And now looking back on them and reflecting on things a bit more, I can see that and how they've made me who I am and why I've done the things that I've done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I worked as a personal trainer because it interested me at the time. I trained up to be a personal trainer. I then wanted to join the fire brigade because that interested me at the time, and it still does. I wanted to start a podcast because it interested me. So I'm someone who believes in trying things and trying to experience the things that interest me in the moment, and not having a grand plan looking forward, but trying to just take life bit by bit and just experience it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Can you kind of get into, I kind of said this already, but can you just tell the story of how we connected?
Yeah, so, I mean, we've both had a guest on called Sveti Rue. She's a solo traveler. Over the last few years, she's been all around the world. Really interesting guest, really interesting sort of watching her, keeping up to date beyond that conversation as well. I think she went to climb Kilimanjaro, which is where she then met one of your best friends.
Yep.
So it's
Adam, who's been on the podcast.
Yeah. So it's an interesting sort of story, but she basically went and climbed one of the biggest mountains and met someone that you know, and thought that we would be a good match for each other's podcast. And I think she's right. I think speaking to you and sort of listening to your show as well, there's a lot of similarities in what we're trying to do. So I think that's, I think she's spotted a good thing there.
Yeah, and we'll get into this, but as soon as she said the lonely chapter, I knew exactly what that was referencing, and it was like, oh yeah, like I love the concept of the lonely chapter. Not necessarily the lonely chapter itself, I suppose, but we'll get into that. But first, if we weren't here in studio right now, where would you be?
Where would I be? Probably editing.
To
be honest,
right.
I seem to be eternally editing at the minute.
right.
I mean, my life at the minute. I mean, sport and exercise has always been a sort of key thing in my life since I was a kid. I was lucky enough to grow up and be taken to play different sports and try different sports.
Right.
Going to the gym, obviously, as a PT, it's a massive part of my life. It has been for over 10 years. Yeah. So, I'm always trying to do something fitness related. But currently a lot of my time is on the podcast, which I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get used to that and still being able to fit in the exercise and the time with friends and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Two questions. One, do you like editing? And then second one is, how much time do you spend a week editing?
Oh, I don't even know if I could guess that second question.
Yeah.
The problem is all the procrastinating that I do in amongst it all. So the actual editing itself probably isn't too long.
Right.
But to start with the first one, do I enjoy it? I do. So the way I edit is probably not the industry standard per se, whatever that is, but I rewatch through the recording and I edit the camera angles live. So that's the point for me to go back through the conversation and to reaffirm what I've learned from it, to re-listen to it, to check that the value's being delivered, and to hear new things that I maybe live recording it. Yeah, I was sort of, someone said the first bit of the question answer and I clung on to that and I thought, oh, I've got a good question for that. But then I didn't hear the thing they said just after. Yeah, which was actually really interesting, and I get to relearn and listen to that. So, I do enjoy it, and that's why. In terms of how long, I don't know. Is
it over 10 or under 10 hours a week?
I'd say it's under 10, but there's a lot of procrastination that happens amongst it, and I mean, you'll appreciate this, and maybe people who don't have a podcast won't understand fully, but there's so much more than the editing.
There is.
There's the reaching out to guests. There's a finding the guests. So finding people that you want on. You then got to reach out to them and convince them to come on.
Yeah.
You then got to prep for that episode. So that's no easy thing.
Right.
Record the episode. Then you get to the editing. So you're already like 5 steps in by this point.
Yeah.
And then, once you've edited it, then you sort of do all your social clips. You've got to prep posts and stuff to promote that episode. And then go on to do that same process again and again for every episode going forward. So
yeah. I love having conversations. The editing, I have been trying to put myself in a position to do less. But like specifically, the full episode, I told you, I don't edit that generally unless there's a break or, someone asked me to take something out. But the shorts, I enjoy seeing the results of the shorts and like kind of the analytics behind the shorts, but generally the short editing is not something that I typically enjoy. So
it's interesting, the shorts element of it, because I'm someone who, before the podcast, I'd come off social media for the last 5 years and I'd had a great time. I was out of the loop. If something really big was happening, people would just tell me. Like, did you hear about this thing? And I'm like, no, tell me.
Yeah.
And it was nice. But yeah, going back into it, I can see how much of it is about grabbing people's attention in that first like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And as much as that's what you've got to do to get that growth and to reach those people, I just hate doing it.
Yeah.
So I think the long form aspect of it is much more my style.
Yeah, same.
That someone's committing that time to you. Like, I appreciate that you've looked at this episode and said it's however many hours, and you're willing to start that and potentially listen to the whole thing in one go. Potentially like only on your travels, but eventually over a number of days you'll get there.
Yeah.
I think that's more me than the social media side. But then on the cross of that, it's very important to do, because that's where everyone is.
I've never been big on social media, and it's such a neat learning experience, learning all the different, the algorithms and all that. So, but yeah, it's interesting that 2 to 3 seconds you talk about, because it's like you do want to set a hook for your shorts, but you also want to stay authentic. And you don't want to like put a hook out there that's just completely unrelated that keeps them watching, right? Like it's those kinds of things. So, okay. So how quickly did it? So this was just something that I went through from a editing standpoint. How quickly did it take you to get used to your own voice?
Probably quicker than I would have thought.
Yeah.
I think I remember the first time. I think I recorded a trailer. So the first thing I recorded was this 30-second, 60-second trailer. And it was no video, it was just audio. And I went round and I played it to a few people who knew I was going to start a podcast. And every time I played it to them, I would just cringe.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is horrible. And then I'd just be cringing in the corner. They'd be listening to it and they'd turn to me and be like, that's really good, man. Yeah, awesome.
Right.
And I'm like, oh. So I don't know. I think after a few episodes, if I had to put a number on it, maybe 10. I think by that point, I'd done it weekly enough where I was like, this is my voice. I've just got to deal with that reality now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for me, it wasn't necessarily like getting used to my own voice. It was saying things like stuff like that at the end of everything, and it was like, stop saying stuff like that, and like, as you do this, I kind of try to go into each episode with kind of a new goal of, hey, you don't need to say and ah. Silence is okay. And
it's such an interesting thing. And you listen back to yourself, you hear all of these little isms that everyone has. And I'd listen to myself when I first started, and I pause quite a lot when I speak. And that's because I'm thinking of what I'm going to say next. I don't want to just speak words for the sake of saying words.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about who do I think is a great speaker? And through a lot of my early self-development sort of journey, I suppose, Jordan Peterson had a big impact on me.
Yeah.
Especially his early work.
Yes.
And when you listen to Jordan Peterson speak, I don't know if you've ever done this with listening to him on a podcast. Sometimes I have to pick up my phone and check that it hasn't paused. Because he takes that long a pause. If someone asks him a question, he just sits in silence and then answers.
Yeah.
And I was like, if people can align with that, then I've really got no issue with pausing for 2 seconds to think of the next few words.
Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah. Sort of thinking logically about it helped me there, I think.
You know, it's interesting. Just side tangent on Jordan Peterson real quick. He is an effective communicator, obviously. But one thing that like I get the impression is it seems like when he talks, he's going through like a really immense internal structure to pick out his words so carefully. And do you get that from him at all, or?
Yeah, I mean,
like his rule for life is like what something about choosing your words, right? Or maybe that's not a rule for life. That's just something he says.
Yeah, I mean, the words you say carry so much weight.
Yeah.
Also the words you don't say, the pauses that you add in. If you just talk and talk and talk and talk, you don't let anything land. But when you take a pause, you give someone listening that moment to actually absorb what you've said.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen him live a couple of times. I've seen him 2 or 3 times, I think.
I definitely want to do that at some point. I have not, though.
Yeah. It was good. And again, to see that experience live, and what you're talking about there is that you can almost see the cogs in his mind. Okay, I know what I want to say. What's the structure? What are the right words to use? Okay, let's execute it. And then he goes and he'll just speak and speak and speak and then stop. And it's like, wow.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, well, so the next question is, if you could learn any skill instantly, what skill would it be?
Are we talking podcasting?
Anything. Sky's the limit.
I mean, a skill that I have been trying to learn since I can remember, and that I can somewhat get away with now, but something I'd love to like be able to just master just like that, is playing the guitar.
Yeah, same.
I've had a guitar when I was younger. I went to school and had lessons briefly. They ended, and then when I was a teenager, I tried to teach myself a bit. So I can play very basic chords, and I can go on Ultimate Guitar and make something sound similar to Bob Dylan or whoever I'm trying to play, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I've never been able to commit to taking that next step and actually dedicating enough time to it to master it. Yeah. So I think, that's not even a extreme answer as well. That's something I could just go and easily do. So maybe it's just a wake up call to me to go and do that. But
oh shoot, what was my question? Can you sing?
When I'm in my car alone or in the shower, I'm the best.
Well, you're the best. Oh, okay.
At least I don't know.
Do you think your friends and family would say you can sing?
I think I'm an okay singer.
Okay.
I think, again, with the right training, I could probably make a decent combo, but
okay. Are we gonna get
too much?
Are we gonna get our first Sam Lonely Chapter debut of you singing publicly?
Not right now. You're not. No.
All right.
But yeah, watch this space. Maybe that's the end of my character arc ultimately. Is that I start a podcast and I end up a a singer-songwriter on the guitar.
Right. There's a comedian. Oh shoot, he sings and he does comedy stuff. Oh man, I forget his name. I've got his face in my head, but yeah, something like that with your episodes.
Bill Bailey.
Like no,
he does that here.
He one of his songs is "What's Funny."
Oh, okay, I don't know.
I don't know. I forget his name.
Do you know Zach Thielander, Chris Williamson's best friend?
No.
So he opens up Chris Williamson's live shows, and he is.
Have you seen him live, by the way?
Yes, yeah, twice. Okay. I was lucky enough to go to both of his London shows in the last 2 years. So sorry, just on a tangent.
Go ahead,
Zach. I grew up in my teenage years, and I got into a bit of Olympic weightlifting.
Oh,
and at the time, he was one of the bigger, I would say, influencers. He was a YouTuber, and he was an Olympic weightlifting coach. So he did a lot of stuff around that. Followed him a lot, and then sort of left Olympic weightlifting behind and disappeared out of my life. Anyway, a few years later, when I started listening to Chris Williamson, I saw him pop up in a episode, and they turned out that they were living together, and they basically become like best friends when Chris moved to the US. And he's now a professional artist, a country singer, songwriter. And the reason I'm telling you that is that
there's your story
arc, and
there it is,
ending up there. So I'm on the Zach Thielander character arc.
That's awesome. So I didn't necessarily plan this in the episode, but I am curious. You've mentioned Jordan Peterson, you've mentioned Chris Williamson. Those two have been amazing for my development and stuff like that. Specifically with Chris Williamson, and I've read the essay is the Doing the Thing.
Yeah,
it's just I love that. Everybody can go look at that. It's not Chris Williamson's originated idea, but he reads this essay and it's absolutely amazing. So, who are some other influential people in your life?
I mean, in terms of how I carry myself in the psychology and the philosophy that I live by, I mean, Jordan Peterson was probably one of the first that got me started.
Yeah.
A lot of his stuff, early stuff about how to be a young man, how to sort of become that adult that you want to be.
Yeah.
Really resonated. Chris Williamson, again, a lot of the stuff really resonates, and I love learning from his podcast. Outside of that, I mean, Ryan Holiday, the Stoicism books. Got into Stoicism quite a lot, read a lot of his books.
Yeah.
I recently bought, The Daily Stoic.
Yeah.
Is the name of it's 365 meditations, and you basically have one a day. So you pick it up in the morning, read it. He does a page where he sort of elaborates on it. And then that's it. You put it back down.
Interesting.
You ruminate on that for the day. You think about it as you go about your day.
I love it.
And some of them resonate with you more than others. But I recently got that book for one of my best mates, and he's enjoying it now. So anyone listening who wants to try Stoicism, I think that's a great way to learn about it. So yeah, that's definitely someone who's had a big impact. On the sort of physical side, I would say David Goggins.
Yeah, for sure.
I've told the story on my podcast before about how I sort of first got into running more extreme distances. So I obviously am working as a firefighter, and I was maybe doing 5K runs at the time. I just sort of got into running during COVID, and I was reading David Goggins' first book, and I'm sat there on a night shift, and I've just finished his book. And I sort of closed the book and I was like, what am I doing? And so I got online, and within 5 minutes, I'd booked myself a place at Brighton Marathon. So a marathon here in the UK. So I booked up for it. And ever since then, I've done a few other things like half Ironman distance triathlons, got into some other wacky triathlons.
Yeah.
And that's been a big part of my life for the last few years. So I attribute a lot of that to him as well. Yeah, those two definitely.
That. Yeah, I think there's an element of the need in our society to deliberately do something hard. And I'm sure one of the people that you mentioned, or multiple people that you mentioned, have said, like, go deliberately do something hard, because, man, like, doing that, like this podcast and like planning it and like just building the whole studio, it's like, it teaches you so much about yourself, and it also gives you that confidence, you know?
Yeah. And it's on confidence, what you're doing every single time you set out to do something that's hard. Every time you achieve something that's hard, you've got an extra stack or an extra piece of paper in your stack of evidence.
Yeah.
So when you look back and you've got all these pieces of paper, I visualize it as a piece of paper, because on its own, a piece of paper is nothing.
Yeah.
But you get a stack of it, it starts to build height. So every time you do something hard, every time you set out to do something that maybe people tell you you're crazy for doing, or there's no chance you can do that.
Yeah.
You go and do it. And then you just put that piece of paper on the pile. It gets higher and higher. And then every time you go forward and you come across something hard, you can look at that and go, well, I did it all those other times. So you get... Confidence is something you build over time, right? I think people want to have confidence, but they don't want to do the scary things before that lead to having confidence.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's how I visualize it.
Yeah, and we were talking about on your episode, we were talking about essentially as far as the confidence goes, we were talking about principles and like what are our values. And you really, when you do something hard, you really kind of get a better grasp of your values as you go forward, because you have choices in life. And again, one of those famous people that you mentioned probably says this as well, of like, you have to choose your path, and both paths could be good, but which one do you want? And that really makes you kind of be like, okay, I'd actually rather do this and take this path instead. So
yeah, it's about learning who you are, but also who you're not. I think we look at these sort of things and we think, I'm doing that so that I can find out if it's who I am.
Yeah.
But if it's not who you are, you also get to learn out of it, and you get to learn who you're not. So yeah, I think we miss that part sometimes.
Yeah. You mentioned stoicism, and what's interesting is when I mention stoicism to people, I get a mixed bag of responses. I want to focus on the negative bag, if you will. What do you take from that? People that are like, oh no, stoicism, no way, and maybe even the stereotype of why it's bad too.
Yeah, it's been misused, maybe.
Yeah,
it's been missold, I think, and there's this whole area of people who are saying, okay, stoicism is this thing where you have no emotions, you just deadpan everything, something awful happens, you don't cry, you never cry, it doesn't affect you because you're stoic. It's like, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
Stoicism is something that is so hard to actually describe and actually give a definition to. But if you were going to try, it would be that you understand emotions to the level that when they come in, you then get to choose your reaction, and you're aware of that. And yeah, you can cry. Things are sad. You still need to process that thing.
Yeah.
But you can also understand that if someone's made you angry, have they made you angry, or have you made yourself angry because of the story you've told around what they've done? So it's not so much what a lot of people first think when they think of stoicism, in that deadpan, emotionless person.
Yeah.
It's way more intricate than that. And it's about what you can control, what you can't control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, so Jordan Peterson talks about crying at a funeral. And I think one of the examples people use often for stoicism is don't cry at a funeral. What are your thoughts behind that? And I'm not saying that Jordan Peterson necessarily says don't cry at a funeral, but anyway, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, in terms of crying at a funeral, it's one of the saddest times you're going to go through in your life, especially if they're close to you.
Yeah.
So I don't think this whole should you cry, should you not, it varies so much person to person. Everyone's different, and people deal with things in different ways. Some people will go through the hardest thing and crack a joke and carry on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's their way of dealing with it.
Yep.
And whether they're actually dealing with it, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But some people need to go to that funeral and cry and bawl their eyes out and let it come out, because if they don't, you carry that with you then going forward. And then you can get to a spot where maybe you regret not crying, or you held it in so much, you were so aware of not trying to cry that you didn't even give your time a moment in that funeral to actually take in what was happening and to remember the person that you're there to celebrate. So, yeah, I mean, I've not actually heard, I don't think I've heard Jordan Peterson speak about it, but I mean, he's a man who cries all the time.
Yeah.
He talks about how people come up to him in the street and say he's saved them from the edge, and he's changed their lives and they're a better person because of him, and it will make him cry. And like, more power to him. I think there's a lot of masculinity as it's been known for the last however many tens of years, that's changing now. And I think crying's a part of that. I think there's this, men do cry, men can cry. On the flip side of that, I also don't think you should encourage everyone to cry. Because it might not be the right time. They might not feel the necessary to. And by trying to force them to cry, you put this weird pressure on them where it's like, you know, you can cry. It's okay to cry. It's like, I understand that, but I don't feel like I need to in this moment.
So I think with stoicism, specifically with crying at a funeral, is the kind of the concept of, like, you have your friends and family there that you need to provide for, you need to take care of. And yes, it's okay to cry at a funeral, but choose the moment or moments that you do cry at the funeral so that you can continue to make sure everybody else around you is okay. And, you know, if you're ugly crying the entire funeral, and again, maybe I'm paraphrasing this, but something along the lines of you're really focused inwardly about your emotions instead of trying to help everybody else helping everybody else who's also struggling at the funeral. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I sort of get that angle, but it's sort of selfish in a way. Like, it's self-centering it around you, and I get you want to be there for other people and support other people. You can do that whilst you're crying. Yeah, and I think back to times when I've been there, and people that I've looked up to in my life are crying around me, and it's almost nice to see, because it's like, oh, it is okay to cry. This is quite sad. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen someone cry and thought, oh, they can't look after me.
That's fair.
So, yeah. I don't know. Maybe some people get that way, but I think it's this over analysing of our actions and how they make us look and how other people are going to judge us. I think it's just I think it's just overthinking it.
Yeah, and it's not a one size fits all of like should you or shouldn't you or when's the right moment to or anything like that. You know, I remember when my grandma passed away, we were at her funeral, and my uncle was just ugly crying, and like we hugged each other and just ugly cried in each other's arms, and like you know, a decade later I still remember that. Like it's that's a moment that I've shared with my uncle that I'll never forget. And like, yeah, it was like a horrible moment, but it was it created a closer bond between my uncle and I, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned stoicism, and I've been very intrigued with stoicism myself. I haven't probably dove into it as much as you, but I think that daily thing like that book that sounds right up my alley of something to do. So
yeah, I mean,
I'll check it out.
Yeah, Ryan Holiday has made stoicism so accessible. So I would say read a few of his books. Do your own understand what it is yourself, and this is to anyone listening as well, is read into it yourself, learn about it. Don't listen to what other people tell you. I mean, obviously, it's Ryan Holiday's telling you what to think about it, but some of these influencers or creators online who are saying that stoicism is about not having any emotion, it's just it's been butchered. It's been sort of hijacked because it was the topic of the period. So over a few years ago, it was the hot topic, and I think a lot of people jumped on that and unfortunately butchered it. And have given it that sort of, now you say someone, oh, I'm quite stoic in how I think, and they go, ooh. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, well, let's get to the theme question. What keeps you rolling forward?
What keeps me rolling forward? I think what I touched on earlier, exercise and fitness, having been such a key part of my life. Since before I went to the gym, but since I started going to the gym when I was 17, I think that's just been the constant in my life.
Yeah.
And I noticed that when I don't do that, or when I don't do any exercise, I notice that I feel worse mentally, physically. And I'm sure a lot of people listening will resonate with that. So yeah, being able to do that and commit to that frequently. Also knowing that the things I'm doing in life are aligned with my values, again, something we touched on. But I sometimes sit back and sort of assess the things I'm doing. Is that still in line with like what I want to do in life? Am I still trying to help people? And how can I help people best? So, yeah, I think ensuring that I'm living in line with my values, and then also on the physical side of things, yeah, being able to maintain that constant in my life as well. Those two things.
I love that. Yeah, I've been doing MMA and training for probably about a year and a half now. Actually, probably longer, but I do notice, like I took these holiday weeks I've taken some time and been like out of town or something like that, and it's like, man, like it's interesting because I'm still at the point where I'm like, oh man, I feel kind of sluggish or whatever, and it's like I don't understand why, and then more and more it's like, oh, you haven't worked out in a while. Like go work out, and then, oh man, it's life changing. It really is.
It's so common because it's not just the physical benefits, it's the mental benefits. And they are massive. And it's that building the evidence pile. Every time you go to the gym and you maybe don't feel like it on that day, but you still go, you're just solidifying that for next time you go through that same feeling. Last time I made it happen, and once I was at the gym, I was fine. Once I came out the other end, I got the endorphins and the dopamine and everything, and I felt great. So, yeah.
Do you supplement? Do you take vitamins and minerals and stuff?
I do, yeah. So, I mean, in terms of supplementing, I take creatine.
Me
obviously quite a common one. I think it's the most research-backed supplement that there is, to be honest. Yeah, vitamin D, and what are the other ones I take?
Do you take K with it? Vitamin K, K2?
Yes. Yeah, D and K2, and then zinc and magnesium as well.
Yeah.
Which I've just started recently.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. I think taking those supplements and those specific ones have been like instrumental to like mental health and just how I feel in general and all that. So, yeah. And
do you take any others or just those?
Yeah. So niacin, or I mean, just a whole complex of B vitamins. I take vitamin C as well. The vitamin C, I think, is more immune. I think it does other functions as well, but like for like the mental health stuff, like vitamin D, K2, and magnesium have been just insurmountable as far as like how much it helps out with like just general mental health and all that. Yeah. I also have I'm a lefty and I serve left-handed, and so I a lot of athletes get shoulder problems that are in wheelchairs, so I take some like collagen, and there's a turmeric pill that I take as well. So I'm sure I'm missing some. Have you ever taken like a lot of niacin at one time, like 500 to 1,000 milligrams? Nice. So niacin's in pre-workout, and it's my dad says it's the only vitamin that is working in your body, because you get when you take a lot, you get these tingly feelings, and it starts at your forehead, and then it like works its way down your body. It's one of the weirdest feelings ever, and some people feel it when they do pre-workout.
Yeah, maybe I have in pre-workout then. I've not knowingly. I mean, pre-workout's one that I've never really used that often.
Yeah,
I think I went through a phase when I first got in the gym, and I was like, yeah, I'm a 17-year-old. I'm gonna, like go to the gym and have this blue raspberry pre-workout. It's gonna be amazing. So maybe then, but since it's a supplement that I've never really used.
Same.
Luckily, I've not really felt the need to.
Yeah. On the rolling forward theme, what's one skill or tool that you use to help keep you rolling forward?
Listening to people and trying to help people in my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So I spoke earlier about the Samaritans listening I did, the volunteer work. I only did that for a year, but the lessons that I learned from that have carried on and probably will forever in terms of how I listen to people.
Yeah.
I think some of that probably comes across in the way I host my podcast as well. And actually listening to listen and to help people feel better by just being heard. And understanding that it's not, you don't have to have an answer. So many people will listen to someone speak and then come up with a solution. And it comes from a good place. It comes from wanting to help that person that we love or whoever it is. But sometimes what people want is to just be heard and to just be able to sit in what they're going through. And yeah, I mean, that's a way that I help other people, and in doing so, that helps me keep moving forward, because that's one of my values.
Yeah. How do you find that line of listening versus solutions?
It's dependent on the situation, I suppose. And I think there's a simple way to know which way to go is to just ask the person.
Yeah.
If someone's coming
That's
to you.
That's what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Come to you and say, I've got this issue. You can just say, okay, right, tell me it. I'm going to listen. Do you want me to try and help you come up with a solution, or do you want me to just listen?
Yeah.
And then that gives them the opportunity to say. I think when someone's really upset, if they're going through something, if they've just had bad news, if they're really struggling mentally, I think I would always go with just listening.
Yeah.
Because in that moment, especially if someone's really struggling with their mental health, they haven't got the capacity to think about how they're going to fix it.
Yeah.
They feel lonely. They feel unheard. They feel, so alone in the world that just having someone listen and go, I'm so sorry that you're going through that. That must be really difficult. Can just be that moment where they go, yeah, it really is. And it's amazing to see that.
Yeah.
And again, this is where I'm lucky to have had those conversations with people whilst doing that work, where I've seen the power of that. And you often won't see the power of it without having to go through it. And a lot of people won't go through it because it's not a conversation that comes up a lot.
Yeah.
So I think people are just not untrained, but they're just not used to it because it's not a common conversation. It's a very awkward conversation. It's a very uncomfortable place if you're not used to being in it. But for me, I would always, if you're unsure and you don't feel like you can ask the person, do you want me to get you a solution or just listen? Just go on the side of listening.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
it's
just hearing someone, and through that, they come up with their own solutions. So one of the most interesting things that I learned during the training was the reason we do this is because we want those people to come up with their own solutions, because that gives them power. That gives them that moment to go, I recognise that. I came up with that answer. So all you're doing in that conversation is you're almost like a mirror for them to work it out by themselves. Because if you just tell them the answer, are they going to go and do it? Probably not. Even if it's the right answer. In that moment, they're not going to go and do it. So helping them find the answer, I think that's the best way to go.
It's interesting because in a way, the Samaritan call, you do have an action that they want to take, or even lack thereof, if they're thinking about the offing themselves. Like you don't want them to do that, and so like when you listen to somebody, the action that you don't want them to take is to do that, and the action that you do want them to take is to seek further help, right? And that's an interesting, I suppose, parallel, because listening is so key to those conversations, but at the same time there is an action that you have that you want them to take. And then wrapping it back around as the solution is have them work it out and help them work it out, right?
I think there's a lot more power in encouraging them to find the solution than to just be given the solution.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone alarm was going off. I thought I had my phone silent. So, that's awesome. What keeps you grounded when life gets chaotic? I think we've kind of discussed that already. You're working out and all that.
Yeah. I mean, that again obviously comes into it. But besides that, the people around me, my partner, she's great. I think we've been together, it'll be 7 years next year.
Nice.
So it's been a long time.
Okay.
And when we first met, I was just coming off the back of going out quite a lot, drinking quite a lot. It was just when I stopped. I went sober for 2.5 years when I met her. And through that time, she's changed me massively.
Great.
And not in a way that I had to change to be with her. It was, she positively encouraged me to...
better.
Yeah, she made me better. And it was all, again, changes that I wanted to make, that she's helped me do. So, having her beside me is a massive thing.
Yeah.
7 years in, she understands me. She understands when something's not going well.
Yeah.
And I think over time I've managed to grow that out into my friends as well. And even friends who I've known for longer than her, maybe before that time I hadn't really opened up with them, or they hadn't opened up with me. So I think I've developed that side of my character in terms of being able to open up to people, being comfortable in doing that, and trying to take on what people are telling me. So people will tell me, and you mentioned this earlier in our other episodes, people will tell me that I'm super busy and I'm doing stuff all the time, and to like just make sure that you don't like burn out or whatever. I don't feel busy. I don't feel like this super busy person that everyone else sees. And I suppose that's because I'm enjoying the things that I'm doing, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
But I also have to be realistic and look back and go, okay, well, you did spend all that time doing that, and then you went straight to do that, and then you did that other thing with them. So I am busy, and I think I've come to the point of burnout a couple of times, where I maybe should have listened to those people. So I'm trying to learn to do that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that all comes down to having that group of people around me, my partner, and then my close friends who I can rely on to tell me the truth.
Yeah.
And to keep me honest.
It's interesting you said you don't feel busy. I do feel busy, but I like it. So that's I don't know, that's a different way of thinking about the busyness, but I always say I'm doing everything that I absolutely love to do. So it's a good kind of busy, and sometimes it does get stressful, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
but it's a blessing to be stressed by things that you've chosen to be stressed about.
Yes. Yeah, that's such a good call. It's a blessing to be stressed about things you deliberately that's
I've stolen that from someone. I can't remember who, but I'm sure everyone's but I've heard that before, and it's super true.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's awesome. Last rolling forward question. When life hits you hard, what are some mindsets or actions you use to pull yourself back up?
I think it's going to be a very similar answer, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
I think it is like speaking to people, taking time to reflect, like personally. A lot of the self-help guidance would tell you like journaling and all this stuff. I must have started to journal like once a year for the last however many years. I can't stick with it.
Yeah, I can't either.
And maybe that's an issue with me, but I can still reflect, and I tend to, when I get to that stage where I need to, I will sit and reflect on what's happened. I think I'm quite a logical person in that regard. I will look back at it. Okay, where am I? What made this happen? Like, what can I change next time? And it's learning through experience, isn't it? Like, that's how human beings do it. So I try not to be too harsh on myself.
Yeah.
If something's gone wrong, if I've reached that point of burnout or wherever I am, okay, let's assess it. Let's look back at it and let's go again.
Yeah.
But also to be kind enough to myself to give myself that time to regenerate.
Yeah.
So, okay, you haven't gone to the gym, you're getting ill and you feel like completely burnt out. Okay, let's be kind to myself. I'm not going to go to the gym till next week.
Yeah.
As tough as that is, I'm setting that as a boundary because I know if I do, I'll just keep prolonging it. I'll try and cut down on other stuff. If I'm like going out late, I'll be like, no, I'm going to sleep well. So it's quite a logical approach, I'd say.
Yeah. If I ever have Alex Hormozy on, one of the things that he says is he just goes until he doesn't want to anymore, or like that's kind of how he approaches every day. But it's like for me, it's like, yeah, but like, how do I know I don't want to anymore? Like that has to take some like really constant thought of like, do I really want to not? Do I really want to go? And like, I don't know. I've definitely pushed myself to burnout, and I think that philosophy for me, like, it doesn't quite hit it for me, and I don't quite understand like necessarily how to do things without getting burnout or without being like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted and all that. So
yeah, I think yeah, like using people around you as a mirror is something that's helped me.
Yeah.
Again, I'm quite similar to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would get to the point where I go, I don't want to do this anymore. It'd be, I physically can't, because I've reached this point of burnout. I can't even think about what I'm eating later, let alone like whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
But using the people around me, if there's a passing comment where they say, you need to slow down a bit, man, like you're not yourself today, or like, are you sleeping, like these little comments that people will make, I'm sure, people who know you well enough and see you frequently enough, when they point out something that's different about you, that's not a positive, just investigate it. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
more.
I like that. Okay, let's get into a little bit of an about you. So, who are you outside of podcasting? So you mentioned you have a significant other. Are you married or?
No, we're not married.
Okay.
And we've in the process now of buying our first property together. So that's a big move for us. First property we've ever owned.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Pre-congrats, I guess.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, who knows? The process is long. But
yeah.
It's out of our hands now.
But like, other than, going to the gym and the podcasts and firefighting, and what do you do outside of all that when you have the time?
What do I do outside of that?
Sleep.
I mean, sleep basically.
Yeah. Right.
Sleep. I mean, I read. I try and learn through that. I think a lot of my spare time I fill with stuff that I try and learn from. So listening to podcasts, reading.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, my time with my partner, that's our time to sit down and watch TV, Netflix, binge some shows. Like, there's also that element which you've got to do, I think, to have that. I think there's this whole push currently of over-optimizing and being super productive, and you can get AI to do all these things for you. Well, if you do that, you end up just filling that time with more stuff.
Yeah.
There's a writer called Oliver Berkman. I don't know if you've ever come across his work on. He's been on a few big shows as well. He wrote this book called 4,000 Weeks.
Okay.
Which is the length of an average human life.
Oh.
So when you lay it out as 4,000 weeks, it sounds super short. And his whole aspect is trying to nail home the finitude of life and actually how short our lives are, and that by cramming more stuff into it doesn't help us in any way. So every time we try and become more productive or become more optimized, we add in all these extra things just to fill that same amount of time, that same 4,000 weeks, doing another thing, rather than what we think's going to happen is, well, if I can get AI to do that for me, I'm going to fill that time with relaxation. I'm going to be on a beach chilling. My heart rate's going to go down. But actually, you just end up going, well, what can I be more productive with?
Yeah.
So, I think that's something that I've been thinking about as well.
Yeah.
On that.
I like it. What's one of the craziest things that's happened to you while firefighting? That's funny. I didn't even realize I worked in that question, and we talked about the question that I gave at the end, and that's like, oh, there it is, basically.
I can tell this. I'm sure I can tell this story. Probably not. Yeah. So recently there was a fire where it was in a warehouse, and warehouses are notoriously filled with like cylinders and various other things. I'm trying to tell the story without giving too much information.
Sure.
Just because I don't want to. It's quite recent. So
yeah,
we turned up and we were setting up as you normally would, getting ready to go, and it all started exploding inside. A lot of explosions. So cylinders, and there was fireworks in there as well, I believe.
Oh.
And ultimately, over the next few minutes, it became apparent that we could not stay in that area.
Yeah.
There was sort of exploded cylinders raining down around us.
Oh.
Heavy, sharp edges. It was, looking back on it now, it was a very, crazy situation to be in.
Yeah.
And, we had, you ended up just withdrawing to a safe distance until it was all over, because it wasn't safe to go there.
Right.
But, when you asked that question, that's the first thing that came into my mind.
Yeah.
Probably because it's still so fresh.
Did anybody get hurt during that, or?
No, luckily no.
Good.
There was, luckily I think the withdrawal was quick.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah. There was no serious injuries, but it definitely had the scope to have caused them.
Yeah. Did you have to go into the building because that's where the fire was, and you needed to be in the building to put it out, or save people, or?
No, so we weren't in the building.
Oh.
Which is potentially the more crazy thing.
Yeah.
So, with warehouses, there was no one in it.
Okay.
So there was no life risk. It was just to protect the surrounding buildings.
Sure.
And in that scenario, we won't go in if it's not deemed safe, and that definitely wasn't.
Right.
So the plan is to just surround it, put it out, and protect it from spreading.
Right.
But the roof had basically burnt away, and the exploding cylinders were coming out of that hole in the roof.
Oh my!
So it was a unique thing for us to attend.
Yeah.
And it all sort of happened quite quickly, escalated quite quickly.
Yeah.
But no, we weren't even in the building when it happened. So.
How often are you at a fire?
Not as often as people would probably think. Watching all the shows.
Yeah.
A lot of the time is training.
Yeah.
Making sure crews are ready for what they're potentially going to go in for.
Sure. Yeah.
We do a lot of community fire safety work, so going out into the community, educating, smoke alarms, putting them up for people. But and as a percentage, it's a very low amount that actually go to fires. There's a lot of other incidents, obviously.
Yeah.
We have a lot of false alarms. We have car accidents, people who go in front of trains and stuff like that, which people maybe don't understand. We do go to those things as well.
Yeah.
But there's loads of varied incidents that we go to, and fires are actually, ironically, a small part of it.
Yeah. What do you think a common misconception about, let's say, fires specifically, that people have, or like, I don't know, like stuff that we learned as a kid that turned out to be maybe not true, or something like that, just a misconception?
I think one that's sort of maybe perpetuated by movies and stuff is like when you see these burning buildings and someone runs in and just runs upstairs and grabs someone and runs out, and they can sort of see where they're going. think the visibility aspect of it and the inability to breathe in smoke is a massive one. Yeah. So very often, if someone dies in a fire, it won't be the fire that's killed them, it will be the smoke.
Smoke, yeah.
So, yeah, when they run into those buildings, they're not going to be able to do that because they won't be able to breathe and they won't be able to see where they're going if it's developed enough.
Yeah.
So I think whether that's a misconception, I don't know, but it's definitely misrepresented in movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyone who looks at a burning building and goes, "Yeah, I'm going to run in there and save someone with nothing on," like just don't risk it.
Yeah. What do you think the hardest or one of the hardest things about training to be a firefighter is?
I think training to be a firefighter is not the hard part per se. So training to actually do the actions is something that you can do. It's something that we do, and it's something that we're expected to do. I think preparing yourself to deal with maybe the trauma side of it is something that you can't really prepare for. It's something that you can't really train for. So I think that's probably the harder part, because especially when you're new, you don't know how you're going to react going into that situation, and you never will until you're in that situation. So it's quite an interesting place to be, knowing that you've got the skills to do it, but not knowing when you get into that moment, where's your mindset going to be? Which sort of person are you going to be? Like, are you still going to be as logical and thought out as you are right now? Probably not.
Yeah.
But how badly are you going to be affected? And some people do find themselves more affected, and some people can sort of get through it and then get affected after. But yeah, that's definitely an aspect of it. And I suppose like training to do what we do is easy. It's not easy, but it's easy to know what you need to train. The difficulty again comes when you come up against something that couldn't be foreseen. A scenario that you can't train for.
Yeah.
Or something that's so outrageous that like you just didn't envisage it happening. And yeah, those are going to be the times where you sort of get tested more, where you've got to adapt and think outside the box under that pressure.
Right.
For a scenario that you just couldn't necessarily have trained for.
Interesting. Okay. What is something you're actively working on improving in yourself right now?
I'm trying to improve my communication. So throughout obviously doing a year and a half of podcasting, when I do look back now, my communication has got a lot better.
Yeah.
But there's also a long way to go.
Yeah.
And I know that. So something that I'm actively trying to do is think about the words I say, think about how I say things, and trying to improve that, however that looks. I'm looking at other ways that I can do that, whether getting someone to help me externally as well. And this is me being quite picky, because I think as the general population goes, if I'm being kind to myself, I think I can communicate quite well.
Sure.
And speak quite well, but I want to be better. Again, that's part of my personality, is that when I get to a point where I feel comfortable, I then get the itch for what's next. Like, okay, how can I make this a little bit better? How can I improve on this? How can I challenge myself more? And so listening back to myself as I edit episodes is also that time for me to think about the words that I use, the common little isms and the filler words that I say, and the so's. The so is such a common one. Almost everyone does it.
Right. Yeah.
But it's it's sort of looking back at those things and understanding, again, learning from the experience, which I think is a sort of common theme here.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's awesome. Which, by the way, I find myself saying I love that in a lot of responses, and we were kind of talking about that a little bit too, with like things you say after responses. It's like, yeah, I do love that. It's true, but maybe you could mix it up a little bit. But
yeah, I went through a stage of saying awesome loads. I still do.
Yeah.
But I interviewed a guy who owns a supplement brand called Awesome Supplements.
Yeah.
And his whole ethos around the word awesome is the energy that it brings, and like, it's such a good word because it's awesome. It's amazing. Like, it's this word that doesn't really get used that much anymore, or if it does, people think it's like some surfer dude or whatever.
Yeah.
But after that episode, I think I went on a little streak of saying it a bit too often.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I learned from that, and then now I don't say as much.
Yeah. That's awesome. No, but I do like using that word as well. That it's a great descriptor. What's a belief you've changed in the last few years?
A belief I've changed in the last few years. I think I'd say that, like, the best way to push through stuff is to just like lock in and do it yourself. And you're on this journey, no one else understands. I think that the new me is more open to opening up and listening to people, and again, I've sort of covered that aspect of it, but I think before, maybe if I was finding something difficult or struggling with something, whether it was from being scared to be open, or whether it was just because I wanted to be able to say on the other side, I did that by myself. I don't know which of those two it was, maybe a bit of both. But I think I'm now more open to taking on advice and listening to that advice and bringing people along with me in terms of that growth, learning with them. I'd say that.
You know what's cool? So I talk to my friends and family who watch the podcasts, and I get different feedback. Like, the segment that's coming up is like my wheelie bad joke segment, and I think my mom even was like, Zach, I don't know if that's something that you should include, because I don't know if people will like it. And it's like, one of the cool things is like I listen to that feedback and I'll take it in, but my response to that is like, I don't care, I like it. And some other people, the people that I do this with, and the people who watch it, hopefully I'll build a community of people who love these. And you know, some people might like other aspects, but this is a piece of what I love about the t-shirts and just doing like corny jokes. It's something I love. So it's interesting when you listen to other people's advice, you become, as you do more and more things and challenge yourself more and more, you become more grounded on like the things that you're doing and the why behind them, even if it's, I just like them.
There's a difference. It's different, right? So what you're doing in that segment is different to anyone else. And I think people are used to hearing the normal conversation. So when you do something different, it's a bit like, oh, well, I don't know if you should do that because it's different. But speaking to, on my last episode, I spoke to a football coach, and he was saying to me, he has these soccer coach.
Yeah, you're good.
I know we're talking to the American fan base here.
Yeah. You know what's funny is my mind did go to football. Like,
yeah. So to clarify, soccer coach, professional soccer coach in the UK.
Yeah.
His ways of coaching are quite unique, and there's a few different things that he does. And there are times where he said that he's had a few raised eyebrows, but that's where he looks at it and goes, that's a good sign. Because if people are just going, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea, it must be quite a normal idea, like, fine, let's go with that.
Yeah.
But when there's something that makes people feel a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit, well, that's not how it's normally done.
Yeah.
He actually really enjoys that because he's like, it must be a good idea then.
Yeah. People remember it as well. And like, yeah, that's interesting. I like it. Okay. Well, that is the next segment is the wheelie bad jokes segment. So here's how it works is I'm going to tell you a bad joke, a wheelie bad joke. I want you to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And then if you have a joke that you want to tell me back, feel free. If not, no pressure. So I would say the majority of my guests do not tell me a joke back, but again, you're welcome to do either one. So I try to keep it relevant to whatever the theme of the person is. This one is relevant to us doing a virtual chat. So you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I told a joke over a Zoom meeting. No one laughed. Turns out I'm not remotely funny.
Oh,
God. Okay. So what would you rate that? Which, by the way, before I say that, there's a guy on Instagram, socials. His name is Logan Lyle. He has like millions of followers, and all he does is they sit on a dock and tell dad jokes to each other. And that's basically his entire brand is built on dad jokes. So I often pull these jokes from him, and I find the ones that I find the funniest, which is this is actually one of them, even though it's like, oh God.
It's a good joke. It's let's give it a 6. Let's give it a 6.
Okay.
Solid 6, yeah.
Not the worst rating that I've gotten.
No,
so.
It's not a bad joke. It's nice to play on words, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so do you have one, or should we move on?
I'll tell one because it's not my joke.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pass it on, and you can judge it because I've judged it before.
Okay.
But I'll play along. Why not? Doctor, I can't pronounce my F's, T's, and H's. Doctor turns around and says, well, you can't say fairer than that then.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. How would somebody that can't pronounce those say that phrase? That's interesting.
Yeah, there you go. Cool exercise.
I think I'm gonna go back and I would say 6 or 7 as well. So it's a knee slapper. It's a good one. Maybe I'll tell that on a future joke when I have a doctor on or something like that. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into your Lonely Chapter podcast. So as I said, I knew the origin of it instantly. But for those that don't know, where did the name Lonely Chapter come from?
So I borrowed the name.
Mm-hmm.
I used to say stolen, but then I got told to say borrowed instead. And actually, I met Chris Williamson and after one of the live shows, did like the meet and greet.
Yeah,
and I ran it past him, so we have got permission. He knows. Oh. He knows it's out there, so that's fine. So the Lonely Chapter, this idea that's coined by Chris Williamson and Alex Hormozy. And it's this idea that when you're on this journey of self-development, as you start to build new habits and take new actions, you start to drift away from the people around you. So maybe it's your friend group, maybe it's the people you're working with. And as you begin to develop, you're not yet developed enough to be around the people that you want to be around. So you end up being in this lonely chapter in the middle where you're on this journey of development, and it can feel quite lonely. And it's something that resonated with me massively, and I think it resonates with a lot of people. Just listening to how many people mention it at his live shows, and when he talks about it, he still talks about it a lot. Like, it's obviously one of his ideas that has stuck around a lot longer. And I think there's a reason for that. I think everyone wants to be better, and they're maybe scared to go into that phase there. And to leave people behind it's not like, oh, you're a bad person, you're bringing me down and I'm cutting you off. It's, I'm going on this journey and I'm going to try and do this thing, which is going to require this, this and this. And you're going to go and do a different thing. So it's absolutely fine. Like, you're just on different journeys. That's all it is. So I always say that it's no bad thing on the people that you do leave behind, or even the word left behind is a bit sort of condescending, I suppose. But the people that you separate with, I think it's not a bad word on them. It doesn't make them a bad person. It just means you're on different paths. And I went through this when I was when I went sober. So talking to you about how I met my partner, during that time when I went sober for 2.5 years, I think it was, and going into that section of my life changed from going out with people who I only ever met when I was drinking, to not really going out drinking that often. Well, sorry, to not going out with them. I'd still went out with them sober a few times, and then I was like, it's not really for me, because it's all about drinking for them. So I sort of stopped seeing them naturally. And then I went into this stage of like, right, who are my people now? Like, what do I do? Like, where are my hobbies? And that's where finding new sports, trying new things, and just getting to know people differently, speak to people differently. And I always look back on that and say that was my lonely chapter. Because I learned so much from that experience of not drinking, that changed who I am in a positive way.
You know, it's interesting because this might be a Jordan Petersonism, and you can tell me if it is, if you recognize it or not. But like, something about like going out to bars sober, and you kind of said you realized that wasn't your scene, and it's like, like it's really interesting to critically analyze, like, okay, if I do this sober, is this something that I'm going to enjoy? And if the answer is no, then what's going on there? Like, now for me, I don't know about you, but the drinking and going out was a social thing, and it was just so fun to be social in that way. I even was almost uncomfortable when, you know, I'd host a party and somebody, this was in college, when somebody wasn't drinking, I would like almost not have that connection with them that you would with somebody else drinking, you know? And it's like, you know, those motivations are just interesting to think about. So,
I mean, just to clarify, I mean, I do drink now, not as frequently. And when I do, quite differently. And every now and then I'll forget myself and I'll let my hair down, whatever. But I don't necessarily feel good after that. And then I will tend to go on a long-term not drinking after that. So for the next few months, I won't drink. But one of the most interesting things for me during that time was the fact that, like I said, I tried to keep going out with this group of friends or drinking partners, as they were. And I went out a few times with them, and they would say stuff like, why aren't you having a drink? Like, come on, just have one. Like, it won't hurt you. All these things. Don't be boring. That was the one that, like, I was like, okay. So they'd say, don't be boring to me. And then they would all sit around the table on their phones. And I was like, it was like a light bulb moment of like, who's the boring one? Like,
yeah.
This is, you've gone out of the house and you're all just sat around on your phones.
Right.
And then at the end of the night, I'd still be dancing. Like, I'm happy to dance sober because no one knows you're sober apart from your friend group, right? You can go and like look stupid, whatever. I can't dance, but I have fun.
I can't either. Yeah.
And then at the end of the night, they come up to you and they were slurring their words by now, and they're like, "Oh, I respect you so much. Like, I wish I could do what you do."
Oh.
And I'm like, that's so interesting because like 2-3 hours ago, you were telling me how boring I was.
Oh, interesting.
And that happened a few times. And I think a lot of people will say stuff like, don't be boring, or why don't you just have a drink?
Yeah.
Because they know that they can't, or they don't have the strength yet to do it. But then they respect it.
Do you think it's a cope?
For some people, yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm gonna try to pressure you into doing, I don't know, something like that.
I mean, for some people, it's coping, isn't it?
Yeah. But the pressuring other people or wanting other people to participate and saying, don't be boring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what it is. I like to learn more about what it is, but
yeah,
I think it's a
sorry, go ahead.
I think it's a discomfort in themselves.
Yeah.
That they know they don't have that control yet to do that.
Yeah.
And they want to bring you that way. It's like when you start a podcast, someone will say, "Oh, are you sure?" Like, it's because it's not how they know you. It's a break from the reality of how they know you.
Right.
Like, you're Sam and you come out drinking with us every weekend. So why are you not drinking? That's weird.
Right.
And it's their way of keeping their reality constant. And again, it's not a knock on them. It's just, it's a human thing. We don't want change.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. But then like when they get drunk and then telling you that they respect you, and it's like, those are kind of like contradictory statements of like, don't be boring. And then I don't know. That's a very interesting, I don't know, thought process.
You speak your truths when you're drunk, right?
Yeah. So
exactly. I think in that moment, they do respect it because they wish they could do the same. But when they're sober, they have to pretend that they're having a good time and that they want to be doing this. And it's the best fun they've ever had.
Yeah.
A lot of the time you look around at, when you're sober I mean, I've not done it many times, but I've been to nightclubs sober. And you look around and people are just so aware of themselves. Like they're looking around at everyone, like, how am I presenting? Do I look okay? It's like, I don't know. It's that self-centered, we're over-analysing our own actions. But it's fascinating stuff.
So... Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to think of, so Jordan Peterson, he doesn't drink, right? I don't think Chris Williamson drinks, does he? Anymore?
Very, very infrequently, I think.
Yeah. And then Alex Hormozy, I don't think he drinks. Probably not. Yeah. Maybe, so I don't know. I guess, and here's maybe an inner turmoil that I've gone through is like, do I want to stop drinking completely? And that's my question to you is, have you ever thought about that? And if so, what swayed the decision to continue to drink whenever the occasion arises or whatever? Whenever you, I don't want to say whenever you want to, because that implies that you drink a lot of the time. But I think you get the point of what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's definitely something I thought about, and I think it fluctuates. But I think when I went into that stage, I never put a time on it. And I think that's a really important thing. I think people will say, "Oh, I've stopped drinking," or "Oh, no, I'm never going to drink again." It's like, I never put that finality on it. People always ask me, and I said, I don't know if I'll ever drink again, but at the moment, I'm not. And it's as simple as that. I didn't want to put any expectation on it. I didn't want to, I didn't want to change my perception of what I was doing. I was not drinking for a purpose. And eventually I decided to start drinking very differently. Afterwards, but still infrequently, and it's completely changed my perception on like drinking and the drinking culture. And I think Chris Williamson says that. He says everyone needs to at least try a period of sobriety just to like get that experience and to understand. And it will change your perception on a lot of things. I think for me personally, I was quite young. I think I was 24 when I did it. And from sort of age of 18, I played men's soccer.
No, you're good.
And being around like fully grown men in their 40s and stuff, and it's that quite laddish culture. It's not really who I am. And I always found myself to be quite quiet because of that. On the pitch, maybe differently. It's like weird that once you get on the pitch, you're just a completely different person. But as soon as I was back in the bar afterwards, I just would be different. And so I started to use alcohol as a crutch to be a bit more social. And I think that was more in those scenarios where I was like outaged and I felt younger. I felt like I knew less of the world. I think amongst friends, you're just getting drunk and you're experiencing it together for the first few times, whatever. But I think with them especially, there was an element of, okay, I've got to have a few drinks to be fun and then they'll like me. And I remember when I did go sober, going back and chatting to people, that was probably the place where I learned the most, was speaking to those people who I looked up at as real adults. In their minds, they may well have had no clue. And I think there's a quote that says, it's idiots all the way up. Like, you look at the boss of the company and you think, oh, that person's got it sorted out. But ultimately, no one does. Everyone's a human being. They've all got their flaws. And I think I learned that going sober. I sort of had conversations with them that didn't require me to be drunk. And there was a respect that I got from a lot of people for doing it as well. And that was nice to feel. It wasn't the reason I did it or anything, but yeah, it's nice to sort of actually get a bit of external affirmation and be like, yeah, it's a good thing that you're doing. So
yeah, it's awesome. I've a few friends have cut back drastically, and we kind of got on that journey together, if you will. So it's nice to I guess have those friends that kind of go along that journey with you, so it's not as lonely, let's say. So let me ask you a little bit about the lonely chapter. One of the things that I find so fascinating about the concept is it seems like everybody has to struggle through it, or at least most successful people say that they had a lonely chapter. And that's fascinating to me. And it's so why, so the question is, why should someone suffer through the lonely chapter, and why someone almost has to? Why is that?
Yeah. And I think it's more than once. You can have multiple of them. I don't think it has to be limited to one. I think every time you go on this journey, you could happen multiple times. Why do you? I think it's part of it. I think because we were speaking earlier about how people don't like change. If you want to make change, there is going to be some discomfort around that, whether that's you feeling like you're leaving people or changing yourself, or when your friends go to the pub and say, come on, come out, and you want to stay home and read and get an early night. Like, you've got to be able to stand with your reasons.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think is really important, is to know your why about why you're doing it. So whatever lonely chapter you're in, whatever has caused it, whether it's leaving a relationship and sort of changing some of your behaviors, whether it is giving up alcohol, whether it's moving into a new position at work, whatever it is, just understanding your why. Understand why did you start this journey, and what do you want it to look like the other side. And I think that can help you in that middle section where you get those temptations. Well, what if I just go to the pub tonight and then like I'll be able to get up tomorrow and still do a few things. And then you go and you may not drink, but you may stay out super late, and then your sleep's disrupted, and then you're up way later than you wanted. So sticking to like your reason behind it is a massive thing.
Right.
And again, the theme of the episode is you've got to learn from it. You're going to learn so much from it. Learning from experience is a massive thing. And by going on this journey, as discomfort filled as it may be, I think it's super important to do that. And I think the lessons you learn on the other side are worth it.
It is, but like, you know, for me, I love connecting people. Like, I'm a huge connector, and like one of the things that, like, as I grow doing this podcast, it's like and Sveti kind of gave me this thought to go on other people's podcasts and connect with other podcast creators and stuff like that, and it's like, you know, I don't know if it needs to happen, but it's like, how can that lonely chapter be reduced, right? Like, could you and I like talk to each other more? Like, could we partner with other creators and like pick their brain about like how to do things? If your friends aren't interested, like certainly there's somebody in this world that we could connect with that does have those shared values and those shared goals that, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I think whether you can speed it up, I don't know. Like, okay, say your lonely chapter is that you're starting this podcast and you want to get to a point where you're competent in speaking, you're competent in drawing information out of people, you're competent in the editing and the social side of things. It's going to take time, regardless of if you've got someone alongside you who's doing the same thing, or and that might help you feel less alone, but you're still on that journey. It's still your podcast, it's still your venture ultimately. Like with mine, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily on a lonely chapter at the minute with this, but obviously starting the podcast, you're learning all these things, you're doing loads of things differently, you're spending your time differently, and all these people are listening to you every week and talking to you about what they've listened to you. Like people who I work with, I listened to that episode, I loved it, this is what I loved about it, and I'm like, that's awesome. But then I'm like, all of the things that go on in my mind behind the scenes, am I growing fast enough? Are enough people listening? I thought that episode was really good and it didn't perform well. I thought that one was maybe not as good and it's performed really well. Like, what on earth, am I understanding this? Like, is it really for me? Like, all these little things that go on in your mind, you can't really share them with anyone in the moment. So they're still your battles and your journey to go through, regardless if we're communicating, and maybe we can reflect on it at the end of the week and we have a quick call and you say, oh, I had this thought during the week and it was quite tough, but I'm through it now. You can reflect on it after. But in that moment, it can be quite lonely. And I think, not to over dissect it, but I think, yes, you can have people alongside you, but you're also on that journey yourself, because you're changing internally, and no one can get in there physically. Yes.
That's a good call.
It's
interesting because, you know, you were talking about it, one of the things that I started to think about is, even if there's a community of people that were podcasters that got into got into it together, they're not all going to move at the same pace. They're not all going to do the same things in the same way or want the same things. And like, it's just, there's so much still there that is like, you're still doing it by yourself because you have this vision and this is what you want to do.
Yeah. And that makes any sense. It comes down to your why. Like, think about the reason you started it.
Yeah.
Am I staying true to that?
Yeah.
And I've had it since I started.
Yeah.
There was a few people that I sort of connected with early on in podcasting, started their podcast at a similar time.
Yeah.
And I look at some of them now and some of them have stopped, and I look at some of them now and some of them are doing amazingly.
Yeah.
And like really blown up. And it's like, it's always going to be difficult to like not judge yourself against them.
Right.
But then when I look at what content they're doing, okay, they are having more topics that are sort of culturally relevant, and it's more outrageous stuff. Like not outrageous, it's good content, but it's sort of playing the game as well.
Sure.
The conversations that I'm having are more maybe like that Samaritan's listening vibe. Like I'm trying to learn about people, trying to understand what they've been through and what they learned from that in order to help people listening either relate to it and then take the learnings away and implement them. And so I think, knowing why you started and not comparing yourself when that stuff does happen. Because like you say, people move at different speeds.
Mm-hmm.
It's the rabbit in the hare.
There's a wise guy who once said, don't compare yourself to others, but compare yourself to who you were yesterday.
Awesome.
So Jordan Petersonism right there. So
that's such a common phrase. I think it attributed to every wise person there ever was. But it's super true, right?
Yeah.
The only person you can compare yourself is you yesterday or you last year. Like, and even that is sometimes a bit, people compare themselves to a previous version of them in a negative way. So they'll go, 2 years ago, I was a marathon runner. I was so fit. I've let myself go. So, okay, but who were you yesterday? What can you do now today to start to get closer to that person again?
Oh, that's interesting.
Are you ever going to get back? So when you're 60 and you're looking back at your 20-year-old self and say, I was such a good footballer and I did all this stuff and I ran. Okay, you're never going to get back there. And that's, it's brutal to say.
Yeah.
But it's also like, you can't live your life like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair on yourself to.
Yeah.
Look at who you were yesterday and what you can do today to make that person better.
Yeah.
And I think, looking too far back at yourself is also a bad thing.
That's interesting. I've never thought of that. And the other thing is it spans into the disabled space as well. So like I know a lot of people who like Elliot, one of the players that I coach in wheelchair tennis, he played able-bodied tennis before his injury, and you can't. He does play tennis now, but at the same time, there's so many things that he did before his injury that he maybe can't do now or has to adapt and do it differently, and it's interesting that concept of you can't look too far back, and one might argue that maybe that's what happened with Robin Williams, and he was at the height of his career, and now he's looking at something not being at the height of his career anymore, and I don't know. I mean,
and it's so easy to say, right? But it's so hard to do.
Yeah,
and like you say, if someone becomes disabled later in life, it must be so difficult to look back at that person you were.
Yeah.
But it's also not going to help you now.
Yeah.
And it's so easy for me to sit here and say that.
Yeah.
And it is true, and I do believe it, and I find myself doing it all the time. I think back to like, couple of years ago when I was doing these triathlons more, and the last year I haven't really run as much, and I'm like, okay, but what can I do now? So I'm booked in for a marathon next year. I've got to start training for that. Like, I can only move forward.
Yeah.
And what are some of the reasons that maybe that's fallen off? It's because I've started this podcast. Okay, I've grown in other ways. So it's being kind to yourself, and that's a common theme as well. I think I'm trying to be better at is looking at my experiences and the stories I tell myself about my experiences with a little bit more self-care.
We're at 1:45 right now. I need to take just a small break. So I want to switch into your podcast growth, lessons learned, stuff like that. So you've done over 80 episodes. Is that did I get that correct?
Yeah. I think we're about 82. Yeah, it was live on Monday. So yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
What have you learned from sitting across from so many people? And let me ask this first: how many have you had repeat guests?
I've had 2 guests that have come on twice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So.
So yeah, what have you learned from sitting across from so many people?
I've learned so much, and there's loads of individual little things and little repeatable things that I've learned. But I think the overarching thing, which is, I hope it's not too much of a cop-out, is that people are interesting and people have a story to tell.
Yeah.
I've spoken to, like I said earlier, I've spoken to football coaches, world record holders, owners of companies, but I've also spoken to people I work with, my friends from my childhood and stuff like that. That's how I got started. And learning about their lives and their stories in depth. I was having conversations with people that I've known for 20 years plus that I'd never known before.
Yeah.
And some of the most up until fairly recently, the most listened episode was just me and my colleague talking about his dyslexia, talking about his what he went to study at university, and then a little thing that happened when he was firefighting. And it's interesting to see something like that perform so well and realise that actually everyone does have a story.
Yeah.
And everyone I get to sit across from, hopefully I get to give them the space to tell that story and to deliver some of the things that they've learned throughout their lives to the listener.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the biggest thing that I've learned.
I like it. We were talking before the podcast about how so many guests say, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And my general response, like, I've always been able to talk to anybody and everybody. And like it's interesting. Like I can literally, and I think you can too. You can literally talk to anybody and bring out whatever story that they have. And a lot of people are like, oh, but I'm boring and yada, 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 yada. What do you make of that?
I think it's really common.
It is.
I spoke to you before this episode. I was feeling some of those feelings myself.
Yeah.
It's my job as the podcast host on my own podcast, obviously, to bring those things out of people. So part of it's on me. So I don't want them to worry too much about that because it's my job to dig into things. And
of course,
when they say something that they don't think is interesting, but actually is, that I can then dig into that and get something good out of it that they can listen back to and go, actually, that was a good point I made. I think a lot of people just don't have these level of conversations. This, in what other world do you sit down with someone, quite often a stranger, and talk for over an hour or 2 hours about all these interesting topics and the life story and all these things? I think it's such a unique form of media. And I think that's part of the reason I love it.
Yeah.
Is that when I started listening to Modern Wisdom, I was learning things about life and learning things about the people I was listening to.
Mm-hmm.
And I could then start to implement some of those things in my own life.
Yeah.
And it's something that you can stop and start. You don't have to sit down and do it all in one go.
Right.
You can do it over a number of like journeys into work, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of people just don't have those conversations. So when you invite them on and ask them to come and talk about their lives, they've never been asked that before. So it's quite natural that they will feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think quite often after the first question or two, the nerves go and they settle down and it all goes fine.
Yeah.
And they realise there was nothing to really worry about.
Yeah, I always ask people, like, at around the 2 hour mark, I'll be like, how long do you think we've been going? And they'll be like, I don't know, an hour and 15. And then I'll tell them and they'll be like, whoa. Yeah. Like, it's so shocking how much it flies by. This is a question that I think is going to be different, or is difficult for you to answer, but what's one guest who changed your perspective? And maybe even going to the extent of like a guest that surprised you or something along those lines.
Yeah. It's like that question of who's your favorite guest. You can't say who's your favorite guest.
Right.
It's impossible to choose.
Right,
but
it is.
One that's had me thinking since I recorded it, and to put it into context, obviously I said we've just done 82. This, I think, was episode number 48.
Mm-hmm.
So I spoke to Dr. Robert Stevens, who runs a clinic for testosterone and testosterone replacement therapy.
Yeah, I listened to part of that.
It was a really eye-opening thing for me because I've done a lot of episodes prior to that on mental health, men's mental health in specific as well. And within the fire brigade, it's a massive issue that we're trying to work on. And in general society, I think the whole masculinity conversation is really interesting, and there's a lot to be done. But yeah, this conversation specifically, I think I learned so much about how the mind and the body connects. And so often we think of mental health and we think, okay, right, what can we do? We can therapy, you can talk to someone, you can do these exercises with your mind and exercise physically, and that's going to help you mentally. We're always thinking about how we can fix the mind, whereas we never look at what if we have a full blood panel and just double check that there's nothing within you physically that's actually causing that. Because there's so many, we were talking about supplements earlier, right? So those vitamins, if some of those are low, that can affect it. That can affect your mood. And you said that yourself. If testosterone is low, it's affecting your mood massively. It's affecting your libido. It's affecting your energy levels. It's affecting so many things. And in this day and age, it's becoming more and more common. I think a lot more men are suffering from low testosterone. I think it's how society is as well. We're more sedentary than ever. We're not exercising as much. So that episode specifically has kept me thinking, and it's impacted a lot of the work that I've done since on myself. I've done a lot of looking at my own bloods and everything there. And that's a whole nother journey, which I'm still on. I'm still like working on. So I'm not ready to sort of delve into that because I'm still not through it. So that opened my eyes, and I think it's just a fresh perspective that I thought I knew about mental health. And then I was like, wow, there's this whole other world of stuff that we never actually look at because it is hidden behind a paywall. It's not, obviously we have the NHS here, which is sort of free medical care, but you can't just simply go and ask for a blood test because you want one. You've got to sort of have a reason. You've got to have a suspicion that something's off. So you've still got to go and pay for this full blood panel, and it's quite expensive. But the alternative is that you keep trying to go to therapy or you keep trying to journal and nothing changes because ultimately your vitamin's low or your testosterone's low or whatever it is. So yeah, that's the one for me that always comes to my mind since doing it. There's loads more. There's loads more. I've done spoken to so many interesting people, but in terms of what have maintained my interest,
that's interesting. By the way, I think I smiled for a second because sometimes when you say a word, it just throws me off. I'm like, oh yeah, he says it like that. So when you said vitamin, I think is how you pronounce it, and I say vitamin, like I don't know, it just made me smile a little bit. So I wasn't laughing at like the thought of someone having low testosterone or I don't know, stuff like that. But I get it. But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. I haven't dove into the testosterone thing a whole lot, and I've definitely looked at trying to explore like getting a holistic blood culture as well. I haven't dove into that either. I have taken a couple things that are like supposed to like help you with the things the supplements that produce testosterone. I've dabbled with some of those, and I can't remember them off the top of my head. But that's interesting. Go ahead.
It's interesting because, I mean, TRT, you say those letters, and people think steroids because especially people in the gym community, a lot of people abuse it. A lot of people get it like illegally or just online, and they just they abuse it rather than use it.
Yeah.
So I think listening to a proper doctor tell me the details and about how it can actually benefit, and it changes people's lives.
Yeah.
He's openly said like people come to the clinic suicidal, and after they've been on TRT, just managing it to that optimal level, not going above it. You don't need to do that. That's where it becomes abuse. But getting it back up to optimal, the change they see in people is just amazing.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting and like what the things about the thoughts about what's causing that and what's causing low testosterone and all that. I mean, we could probably have an entire pod. Well, you did. So, but yeah. So that's interesting. What skill did podcasting force you to develop that you weren't expecting?
The ability to back myself, to be confident in myself, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
So, obviously, skills that I've learned loads. Communication is continually growing. Editing continually growing.
Yeah.
Prepping of episodes, all of these things. The social media aspect, but they're all things that I sort of expected to learn. So when I'm thinking of stuff that I didn't expect, is probably that aspect of you have to back yourself. You're reaching out to guests, and some of these people that I've managed to get on the show or reached out to, I've been sort of following for a long time, and I feel like it's that weird thing of you look at a follower account and you think they're this mystical person. Reality, they're just a human being.
Yeah.
But you put them on this sort of pedestal, and you reach out to them, and if you back yourself, there's going to be loads of people that just blank you or say no. But some people will say yes, and you'd be surprised at some of the people you can get on just by asking, and asking with a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
And to add on to that, last year I went to the podcast show in London. So it's a 2-day event where you've got loads of different speakers. They're all talking about the newest things in podcasting, what's working, etc., etc. And going to that was the first time that I've had to repeatedly sell my show almost. Not that I was trying to sell it to them, but people would ask with genuine curiosity, tell me about your show. And it was the first time where I'd had to actually think, like, what is my show? Yeah. Like, if I'm trying to condense it to a few sentences, okay, well, I speak to interesting people. I try and extract their knowledge, their life lessons in order for the listener to learn from. Something like that. Depending who it is, I can throw in that thing that I said at the start about being a firefighter and a Samaritan, helping people on the worst day of their lives. And I wanted to start the show to help people before they get to that point. So it was the first time I had to think about that, but there's a weird discomfort in that because I don't, it was the first time where I'd sort of gone, I am a podcaster. And there's this whole identity thing I've spoken about before where I think about identity versus identify. And a lot of people make the things they do their identity, their personal identity. So their job or whatever it is. And if they lose that thing, whether that's through their own choice or someone else's choice, it can really damage them. It can make it really difficult for them to come out the other side because they've lost that part of their identity. Whereas if you say, I am Sam, these are my values, and I identify as a firefighter, I identify as a podcaster, I identify as someone who lifts weights, I identify as this. They're all parts, they're things I do, but they're not me. It's a tiny little reframe that I've sort of thought about recently, and I just, I like that one letter changes everything for me. And I think it was the first time where I had to go, I am a podcaster. Like, I'm doing the thing. I'm not just trying to do the thing. I'm actually putting episodes out weekly. And it was nice as well because I was telling people about it and they're going, so you're doing what, weekly? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, wow. And I'm like, and is it all you? And I'm like, yeah, I do it all. They're like, wow, that's so much effort. And I'm like, it doesn't feel like I've done it. Like, it feels like loads, but I've enjoyed it, so it doesn't feel like much. So
interesting.
It was sort of, again, it's that point of when your friends say you're so busy, and I'm like, I don't feel like I have been because I've been enjoying it.
Interesting.
But
you said that's, if the podcast or someone's podcast is taken out, they kind of lose their identity. If you lost all those different aspects of, you being a firefighter, you being a podcaster, maybe God forbid you're a partner at the right now, and like, if you lost all those things, like, would you really truly still have an identity?
I think it would be awful. I think it would be really difficult. There's no hiding that. I think you would still have yourself and your beliefs. True. Ultimately, like the values that you live to. You're going to need a new way to find those, how you can implement them. But I think you still got them. I don't think you lose yourself. It would be awful. 100%. There's no hiding that.
Right.
But I think with enough time, you could then rebuild off of that, providing that I think it would be way harder if, and this happens so often, just to pick on the fire service, is I'm a firefighter. I am a firefighter. That's who I am. It's what I do. When you get to the age of retirement, that becomes really difficult for people.
Yeah.
Because now they're not a firefighter. They can't live off of that identity.
Yeah.
You see people struggle, and then it becomes, I used to be a firefighter. I'm a retired firefighter. And it's like they can't leave that behind.
Tied to your identity.
Yeah. And I spoke to a friend who was a Royal Marine Commando here in the UK, which they're sort of, their element of the Navy, sort of below the Special Forces. So I don't know what that would equate to. Maybe. Okay. Not SEALs, Rangers, that sort of thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not familiar enough with the military.
But they're sort of, they're a specialist sort of unit in the UK. Anyway, he'd grown up in that environment. He'd gone on tours with them. He'd worked through all of that stuff. And then he came out of that, and speaking to him now, he's let it go. But he realised he held on to that identity for so long. He would wear the same clothes that they used to wear then. He'd buy the same brands. There's a brand called Through Dark here in the UK that is sort of made by Special Forces personnel. And so there's that undertone there. So he was buying lots of that stuff. And it was like those little, almost unknowing ways he was still trying to hang on to that identity. And eventually he realised and managed to let it go. And he's like doing really well now and stuff. But I think it holds you back. And it comes back to that living in the past stuff is what we were saying about earlier. When you live in the past too far back, it can be detrimental to you now. Interesting.
Yeah, I think I can definitely think of a few moments in my life where I've done that. That is an interesting topic. So let's move on from identity. What do you think a misconception people have about hosting a podcast is?
A misconception about posting a podcast from a person who wants to start a podcast, or someone who is looking in at someone posting?
Someone looking in at it.
A misconception is probably the amount of work that's gone into one episode.
Yeah.
They look at, like, in my case, probably either side of an hour that comes out, but all the hours behind, and I laid it all out earlier, there's stuff involved. So
yeah.
I think that's something that people definitely don't see. And that's once you've doing a weekly show, I look at someone like Chris Williamson who does 3 a week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is just incredible. I know he's got a team behind him now and stuff, but when he first went to that 3 a week or 2 a week, it was just him and one other, I think. And that blows my mind, because I'm like, that's an incredible amount of work.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard enough to find weekly guests, let alone 3 times a week or whatever. It's like, that's insane. Go ahead.
No, carry on.
What the next thing that I was going to ask is, so it's been 1 year and 7 months that you've done this. 6 months?
Yes, 7. I think it's May time, maybe.
So 1 year and 7 months. Looking back to your mindset and your thought process when you first started, did you think you would be where you are now, or what did you expect? Because I feel like I'm a year behind you right now, and I'm just thinking about those things of like, what do I expect?
Yes and no, weirdly. I think I've never given myself a goal of a number of listens or a number of followers or anything like that, because I don't want to put that pressure on that I'm chasing these numbers, because if I get to a stage where I haven't hit that number by year 1, am I disappointed in myself? Am I any less of a podcaster for not getting those numbers? Were they unrealistic? Was it always going to fail?
Right.
My number one goal from the start has been to put out weekly episodes. So to put a weekly episode out, and I've done that almost every week. I think I missed 2, and I decided to actively take 1 week off a few weeks back, just because I think I had a few cancellations. I could have crammed an episode out just to get something out, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to accept what's happened. It also gave me a bit of time to reset myself. So yeah, I didn't lose any sleep over that. But I think the goals that I've given myself have always been consistency based and not numbers based. And whether I think I would be here, I think as long as I keep enjoying the conversations, I will keep going. So if that takes me to another 5 years from now, then so be it.
Yeah. If
I get to a year from now and my priorities change and I stop enjoying them for whatever reason, then so be it. Like, I will still have learned so much from it.
So true.
And I think that's the thing. I think, what is it? It's about 90% of podcasts don't make it past like episode 8.
Yeah.
And then the 90% of those don't make it past episode 20. So if you get past 21, you're in the top like 1% in terms of episodes released.
Yeah. Wow.
So I think that's a massive, that's a really interesting number that I've heard before. And I think that sort of gives you a bit of confidence to go, I'm actually doing the thing. I'm doing it better than 99% of people because they gave up. And I think a lot of people give up because they start it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
They start it to try and chase that number or whatever it is. If you start it because you enjoy the conversations and you want to learn from people and grow as a person and help other people do that by being a fly on the wall, then that's like a timeless thing. So yeah, that for me, that's what's sort of driven me, and it's working so far. The numbers fluctuate. Like if I was going to go off the numbers, then there'd be some weeks that I'd be sad and some weeks that I'd be happy. But ultimately, you look at people like Chris Williamson, Stephen Bartlett, and you look at the figure when they post their, I don't know if you've ever seen the graphs they show, and it's like a flat line for like 5 years, and then suddenly it just goes up.
Oh, interesting. No, I've not seen those.
Yeah, I think Stephen Bartlett posted it quite recently, and for me, it's just that consistency. Am I enjoying it? Yes, cool. Then I'll keep doing it.
Right.
And it is growing. I don't know if it's growing slowly or fast. I don't know what to compare it to. I don't really have a comparison, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm finding value from it, and I know other people are finding value from it. So I'm going to keep doing it. I don't really. Sorry, I forgot where the question was.
No, you're good. I was something popped up in my head. Is you said something along the lines of you're not ready to have 1 million followers, and I was just thinking, like, are you ever ready for 1 million followers? And that's almost and maybe I'll challenge you here a little bit, but that's almost the same perspective as someone saying, I'm not ready to start a podcast, right? It's like,
I get that. I like it. I think you're right. I don't think you're ever ready, but I think you learn things and you grow the processes that make you as ready as you can be.
That's true. Yeah.
And I don't think I'm there yet. And that's not me saying I don't think I'm good at it. I don't think I'm ever going to be good at it.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird place where I have no real expectations of myself, but I also could see myself going and doing whatever.
Yeah.
I have that, like, as long as I keep doing it, why not? So, yeah, I've not really said that out loud before.
Yeah.
But it's why not? What's stopping us from doing it? I think if you looked back at anyone's first 100 episodes, you could find flaws all the way through it.
Yeah.
And beyond, probably. So
of course,
I'm trying to not be too hard on myself. I'm learning. I look back on the first couple of episodes and I can see exactly where I've grown, where I've changed.
Of course.
And the things that I've learned along the way.
Yeah.
Are just like bonus. Absolute bonus. So
that's awesome.
I don't think you'll ever be ready, but you will be as ready as you can be.
Yeah.
And I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And that's not me saying I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be ready to be there. But when I'm ready, or when I'm as ready as I can be,
then
that'll be the time.
If someone told you, hey, I've got, you can have 1 million people tomorrow, and it was, I don't know, let's say somehow organic, and all the people actually chose to follow you and all of that, would you take it?
That's such a good question. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
I think on the premise that I want to help people.
Yeah.
And I want to help as many people as I can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think if however many people now find value from it, if I could suddenly have that many ears listen and they found value from it, then brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then coming with that amount of ears, you're also going to have a lot of people who don't like it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not something that I've necessarily come across massively yet. You have a few comments where people disagree with what you've said, and it's like, fine.
Yeah.
But would I be ready to deal with that aspect of it? That's a whole nother thought process to go through.
Yeah, but I guess my answer is no. You're not going to be ready. But the cool thing about starting a podcast and doing all these things is like you learn as you go, and as long as you have the charisma, not charisma, but the values and the humility and all of that to admit, hey, this maybe wasn't phrased properly or whatever else. Like, I think people appreciate that authenticity, and as long as you maintain that, then anyway.
Yeah.
That was just an interesting thought experiment I wanted
really
to take with you. Yeah.
To help as many people as possible, I would.
Yeah. And I think my answer would be the same as like, am I ready for it? No. But at the same time, I do want to help as many people as possible. I want to spread the disability awareness as much as possible. I want to help people find their purpose as much as possible. And if there was 1 million people that were following me that did that, then wow, that'd be a dream come true. So let's get technical a little bit, because I'm curious. Hopefully some people will gravitate towards this, but some people might hit the skip button on this. But regarding the podcast, what have you learned about the algorithms across the platforms? That's such a generic statement, but I'm take it wherever you want to go. Yeah.
I mean, talking about where you put your podcast specifically, obviously YouTube is a big thing now, and I think the podcast show they were talking about it. YouTube is becoming, I think it's going to overtake Spotify as the most listened, the place where most people listen to podcasts. They expect that to happen, and more and more people are watching video. More and more people are watching it on their TVs at home. So they're sitting down and watching podcasts. And I think YouTube is a weird one, because it is long form first. But it also rewards those clickbaity, quite eye-catching titles and thumbnails. You think Mr. Beast, like he's played it fantastically. Like it's always a shocked face, and we blew up this Lamborghini or whatever it is, and he's not lying,
right?
But he knows exactly what he's doing. It's all about that scroll stopping stuff.
Yeah,
I think from like a Spotify, and I'm not sure about Apple, but I'd guess like these other podcast platforms are a bit more rewarding of just factual information. If you lay out exactly what's within the episode in your title and description without the extra clickbaity titles, that's what's rewarded there. So I think YouTube does reward a little bit more of a lean towards that clickbaity aspect.
Yeah.
In terms of like the social algorithms and stuff, I mean, like I said, I was off social media for a long time beforehand.
Yeah.
I think TikTok is awful. I hate it. I think it is just, you get fed whatever you're lingering on.
Yeah.
And it just, regardless of following, nothing. And it has massively changed Instagram, because Instagram has now become TikTok.
Yeah.
Because on Instagram, it's so hard to see what people you follow have actually posted. You just get thrown up all these suggestions non-stop.
Yeah, I hate that.
And there's this thing that if you're going down your home feed and you see a suggested post, you can click on the 3 buttons and you can mute or snooze suggested posts for like 30 days. And every time I see a suggested post, I do that for the next 30 days on my home feed. But on the Reels, you can't change that. The Reels tab is just TikTok. So yeah, I don't enjoy them. I don't like them.
Right.
But it's part of it. Hopefully, if it helps get a few more eyes on the podcast, then it is what it is.
Right.
I need to be better at it, and I probably need to be better at trying to build more of a community and being social on it. But then that's like more time on the app, and I don't want to do that. So I'm sort of like, it's a struggle in my mind.
Yeah. That's interesting. I Facebook is the one that I think of. Like I think that was the first social media platform I started. I was actually in college when Facebook started, to give you an idea of how old I was. And I now go to Facebook and I'm like, all right, what are my friends and family doing? And even people that I don't even talk to anymore that I went to college with, it's like, what are they doing? And you see 1 or 2 posts, and then it's something random, and it's like, no, like that's not why I'm on this platform. And sometimes you do get sucked into that, but anyway,
TikTok has changed every other platform. They've all seen how effective it is at keeping people. Ultimately, what they want to do is keep you on the app. And so Instagram, Facebook, obviously linked anyway, even YouTube Shorts, they're there to keep you on the app, because time just goes.
So, may I ask if you're making money on any of the platforms now?
No. Sorry.
You
can ask. The answer is no.
No, I got that.
No, I think after 1,000 on YouTube, that's when you can monetize there. So I'm not close to that. It's sort of goes through phases with that, and it's getting a bit faster again now. But I think I call it an expensive hobby.
It is.
It's something I like doing, and some people spend their money going to buy like a set of golf clubs and going golfing and the membership to go there. But for me, it's paying for some software, some cameras, some microphones, and having conversations and sharing them with people. So I mean, the only money that I've managed to get is through, like, there's a thing called Podmatch, where it matches guests with podcast hosts. And sort of if you complete interviews through there, they give you it's like a couple of pounds, so it's nothing.
Interesting. Okay.
Nothing major, but yeah.
Interesting. Have you, like, I've heard Alex Hormozy and a whole bunch of other people talk about like you don't just you don't like they don't only make money via the monetization of the social media companies. They make money by selling products or just reading an advertisement, or I've heard there's, like, I don't know, 7 or 8, maybe more ways that you can make money on social media. Have you explored any of those other options or ruled any of those out because that's not what you want or anything like that?
I've not ruled anything out. I haven't explored it. I haven't actively looked for it because I've not started it to make money.
Yeah.
I am lucky that as my job as a firefighter, I get 4 days on and 4 days off.
Yeah.
So I have quite a lot of time to be able to do this. So yeah, I've not started it, and I don't know about yourselves and other podcasters listening, but I occasionally get these random emails, and these people who want to blow up your channel and like say, oh, you're an entrepreneur, you're missing out on, like, bringing in money this way and selling your product, you need to do this. And I'm just like, that's just not why I'm doing it. Like, I mean, yeah, it's just, I just enjoy the conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying doing them, and I'm enjoying learning along the way.
Yeah.
And again, it's that sort of, like, would you have 1 million people now?
Yeah.
Like, I think if money comes, the money will come when I deserve it.
Interesting.
And there's an element of time, and yeah, I could go out and try and push for people to sponsor it and stuff.
Yeah.
At the minute, that extra time spent trying to do that doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah.
As opposed to just trying to go out and get amazing guests. So yeah, that's my view on it, really.
Interesting. Do you have you, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this question. Are you regarding the monetization and stuff like that? For me, like, I would love to get monetized and paid as soon as possible, because, you know, that might lead to me being able to quit my job and stuff like that. And I think it's a little different because I think you really have a purpose in firefighting. With me, I don't. For me, it's just a job, and so I think about that as far as, like, a means to an end. For me, so, like, I don't know. I don't know that I have a question there, but it's just interesting to think about, like,
yeah, I mean,
what more could you do with that money and all of that, you know?
I mean, there is that element to it, of course. If someone wants to come and sponsor me,
yeah,
I'm not going to say no.
Yeah,
it's depending on the company, I suppose. But
right.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn it away. It's not my driver of why I'm doing it. So I think I've not really put too much thought into it. And I'm self-aware enough to say that I am in a privileged position where I don't have to worry too much about, like, the money that I'm putting into it, because I just see it as a hobby.
Yeah.
I see it as anyone else would put money into their hobby.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, it's similar to the 1 million thing. Like, I wouldn't turn it away.
Sure.
Would I like it to happen tomorrow? Sure. Yeah. Like, if I got some extra money, I can put it back into the podcast and buy some new equipment, make it better, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm also quite happy learning and building at the speed that I am.
Yeah.
Without making that too much of a thought.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. What's one big mistake you made early on? Or to word it in a different way, what advice would you give somebody who's wanting to start a podcast or very early on with starting it?
I suppose before even starting, I thought about it for a while. I think it was about a 6-month build up where I tested the waters by speaking to a few people who I trusted and saying, I think I might start a podcast, and just to fish for their reactions. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. That'd be really good. Okay, good. They like it. Let's go. And then it was building, like, okay, I've got to come up with a name, then I've got to get the artwork. I think you need to think about those things. So you need to get a name, you need to get the artwork done, you need to get those high quality as possible. Invest a little bit of money into them if you need to. Understand how you're going to like record stuff if you're doing it remotely. What's the software you need? Like budget that in. How are you going to edit things? Are you going to edit it? Work out that stuff before you start. Yeah. But also, on the flip side, don't overthink it. Right. Because you are going to learn it as you go. So a lot of people are like, oh, I want to start a podcast. Where do I start? Like, oh, I'm going to start it in the new year. It's like, start in the new year if you want, but you've got to work these things out and then just start. There's no perfect time to start. You've just got to do it. And I think also launching with a few episodes in the bank, especially if you're going to do one weekly, is a massive thing. Yes. Like launch with a couple of episodes. So as soon as you go live, I think, was it Tim Ferriss who I heard this from before? So I launched on day one with 2 episodes. So straight away, if someone listened to the first one, they could go into the next one. Interesting. And then I already had the 3rd one ready to go. And then it's just that sort of chasing game. Yeah. Go on. I have like, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes in the queue that I've already recorded. Oh, wow. that are coming out, and I wanted to give myself enough of a cushion, and I didn't necessarily do that early on. I just did a lot of recordings back to back to back that I was just like, I do want to, if I do want to take a vacation or something like that, like I can take a little break and continue on. So I think there's a fine line. I suppose it varies for everyone. Like for me, I think if I was that's super like on it, that's cool. But I think for me, like if I did the recording and then waited that long to release, maybe I would be out the mindset of that conversation when it releases. I think for me personally, like 2 weeks ahead is where I like to be. Okay. Saying that, I've spent way longer than I would like to admit, like week to week, like just coming up with it on the week, and that is not a nice place to be. No, it's so stressful. It's caused a lot of stress, but I've managed to get on top of it, and hopefully going into the new year I can maintain that. But how far ahead are you with your shorts? And you do one a day, right? At least there or thereabouts. Yeah, I mean, I tend to do one a day, especially on weekdays. Yeah. And then sometimes over the weekends. there's not a lot of strategy behind it. Again,
sure.
I'm not the most savvy when it comes to that.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna like give out advice like I am.
But, yeah. Right.
Yeah, I think I need to, and what I said about building community, I need to start putting videos on there that aren't just clips of it.
Yeah.
I am aware of that.
Yeah.
It's just building up the energy to do that, and to have a bit more of a different vibe to it, to sort of like break people from the routine of just seeing a conversation clip.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've been putting workout videos and tennis videos every Wednesday. I'll do something kind of random like that. So, but the original question was how many shorts do you have like in the queue now that are coming out, or is it you edit?
I tend to go week to week with it. To be fair, okay. So as I get an episode like ready to upload, I then clip it up.
Yeah,
and I can sort of schedule the week because I'll do a few from that episode on that week, and then they'll linger through the next 2-3 weeks beyond as well. So in between the new episodes that are coming out, I can then use one of those clips from this episode again. Yeah, and it keeps it fresh for a few weeks beyond.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's outside the podcast, let's talk about timing of the 2 episodes that we did for each other, and just see what I want to pick your brain about that. So. Anyway, let's see. So let's do a little bit of a rapid fire. Oh, actually, let me ask you this question first. What chapter are you hoping to enter into next in your life?
The building chapter, maybe.
Yeah.
Call it that.
Okay.
Trying to build more things around me that will benefit me and others. Like I said, I'm starting to learn more to use the people around me as a mirror and to like learn from them. So that's one thing. Building those processes of how I look after myself. Yeah. In order to look after others as well, and to be the best. Within work, I spoke about the well-being side of stuff a lot. Something that I'm really keen to push on with there. I'm in a junior officer role there, so even just the small impact I can have on the people I work with, I'm keen to build on that. Yeah, cool. So I'd say the building stage or the chapter.
Yeah. Do you think the building stage will ever end?
No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay, let's get into just a rapid fire. This is supposed to be like a this or that, or just a one word, one line thing with these. So, harder job, getting someone to open up on a podcast or keeping them calm in real life?
Calm in real life.
Okay. Better conversation starter, deep questions or unexpected humor?
Unexpected humor.
Do you recharge alone or around other people?
Alone.
Who's your dream guest?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. Oh, interesting. We were talking about like Chris Williamson and Alex Hormozy. I did not expect that. That's great.
Can I just elaborate on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Chris Williamson obviously would be a brilliant guest. I'd love to have him on. But I think for the stories that I try and bring on as well, I think Ed Sheeran's story is fantastic. And a lot of people think that he's like sold out to the record or whatever. Whatever you think he's done, he's fantastic. And if you've seen him live, he's very, very talented. But I think his story of where he started, leaving home to come to London and not having a place to live and just busking and just building from nothing, like it's the ultimate story, right?
Interesting. I think from a musician standpoint, I just thought of this. I'd love to have Louis Capaldi on.
Yeah, another really, really interesting person.
And, especially when I talk about disability and his threats and stuff like that. So like that'd be interesting. So dream guest of all of history. You've got to pick one. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
You could just name the first one that comes to mind.
Churchill would be interesting, right?
Churchill, yeah. Yeah, okay. Which do you value more in a podcast, direction or spontaneity?
Spontaneity.
Okay, interesting. Prep questions or winging it, podcast related?
Prep questions.
Yep, same. Biggest pet peeve in podcasting? You had something in mind. I see it. You just didn't want to say it.
No, I think when a guest has been on so many podcasts that they just say the same thing.
Oh.
And whatever question you ask, they find their way back to that speaking point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which you don't always notice. So some of them are really good at it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can tell that they've gone on to the line that they always go, and it's just
yeah. I've definitely noticed it kind of here and there. So yeah, that's interesting because it takes authenticity out that we're really striving
exactly
for.
It. Yeah. And I don't want to call out people or anything. I appreciate everyone that's come on the episodes.
Sure. Yeah.
But, it's that authenticity is what I'm after.
Yeah. If you could instantly improve one thing, listening or storytelling? I think I know your answer.
Storytelling.
Okay. You were talking earlier about listening, so I would have guessed you would have answered listening.
I think I'm quite good at listening.
There you go.
Yeah. So I think if I could improve my storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always mix in towards the end of the podcast. I always mix in a disability segment, and I'm curious. I did have some things prepared, but I think I'm going to go in a different direction that is just interesting. And feel free to not want to answer this because I think it's just an interesting perspective that might be slightly uncomfortable. But before I ask that question, if you don't mind, can you talk to me about what's your experience and part of why I bring this segment up is one to increase awareness, but also I just like to understand what people's knowledge is, where they're at, and stuff like that. And I know I prefaced it with an "oh gosh, what's he gonna ask me?" question, which I don't think you'll think of it. I don't think you'll think of it like that. But can you just give me your experience around disability or anything like that? And it can be none, and that's fine too.
No, I have lived around disability since I can almost remember, probably from maybe 10ish.
Yeah.
A family member of mine had a very severe stroke and has lived with us ever since, basically. So see it day in, day out.
Yeah. Okay.
In that aspect of it.
And then your friend has did you say your friend had a disability or maybe not a disability but a verbal? Maybe I'm completely imagining that. I don't.
There's neurodiversities and
yeah.
dyslexia and
okay,
those sort of things as well.
That's it. It was dyslexia.
Yeah. So my partner, she's dyslexic as well, and that opened my eyes massively.
Yeah.
So when we first started going out, she showed me this video on YouTube, and I'm sure anyone listening can go and find it.
Yeah.
And it's words, and then random letters start spiraling off the screen and jumping about, and she's like, that's exactly what I see.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's amazing, because I've never been able to understand it.
Yeah.
And it actually does a really good, from what she says anyway, it does a really good job at displaying what people see.
Yeah.
And how difficult it can be as well.
Yeah. I'm I'm colorblind, but one of the things that I've asked other guests is if they think a certain thing is considered a disability. Would you consider dyslexia a disability in however you define it?
I don't know. I don't know enough about what classifies.
Sure.
I think there is definitely big impacts on people's lives, and speaking to them both. Obviously, there's the hidden element of it.
Yeah.
There's the aspect of when you're younger, you're in school, and the teachers are telling your parents that you just don't get it, or you don't pay attention, or you're not as smart as the other kids, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the damage it does to these people later in life, because for so many years of what are your formative years as a child, you're being told that you don't get it, or you're being made to feel stupid because you don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you then come to this realization that when you're 20 or something or beyond, well, actually, I have dyslexia. It's this whole moment of you go through that, like almost anger, like how could like no one have helped me, like, and spotted this sooner. I could have had all that support. Some kids were diagnosed very young, and they got support, and I was left to just feel stupid. And so I don't know is the answer, but I know it does a lot of damage to people. As well.
Yeah. I asked someone about speech impediments if they think that. I'm not going to ask you about that, but so here's one the interesting topic that I wanted to bring up about disability. That's more or less off the cuff is there's the quote of like you can do anything you set your mind to, right? And I had a friend in college, and I love him for this. Is he basically was like, no, you can't. And like that's just not a true factual statement, that you can't do everything that you set your mind to. And now it's inspirational, and it makes you do the things that you want to do that you know you could, but you're not, and avoiding and all that. And it's great from that standpoint. But it's interesting. The example that I always bring up to people is I can't be a firefighter. Ironically enough, like. And I think we live in a world where we try to give everybody an opportunity, and even when the shoe doesn't fit, if you will, right? And if I think, and I think this might slightly upset people, and might slightly like some people are going to be fully on board with this. Is I don't think it would be fair to anybody to hire me as a firefighter. And one of the cool things, I guess you could say this is cool about disability, is like, different paths that you can't take, right? And so like it almost narrows your path, if you will, a little bit. And so it's like, I'm never going to be a pro football player. I get it. That's fine. Do I like playing sports? Yeah, but I've taken this other path of doing that. And so it's like I've actually heard of people getting hired on in these roles who are disabled, and I'm just thinking, like, what in the world is that? I just think it's insane, quite frankly, if I could speak transparently, which I am. But I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's unfair to tell people that they can be whatever they want to be when there are limitations.
Yeah.
And to take it out of disability briefly.
Yeah, go ahead.
To use the firefighting as an example, there are able-bodied people that don't have what it takes to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
Whether that's mentally or physically. The mental toll. Some people just couldn't deal with the pressure. They couldn't deal with the trauma. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be for everyone.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think we're in this place where we tell people, we say things like, it's a job for anyone. Mm-hmm. Anyone could do this. Mm-hmm. It's not true.
Yeah.
And that's even, before we then bring disability into it. And
mm-hmm.
There's going to be ways to do some things that are going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you basically you've hit the nail on the head really with what you said, and
sure.
I think it is unfair to say that.
Yeah.
I think, you set your mind to stuff, you can do your best. Like you can, but to say you can do anything to anyone, whether they're disabled or not, I don't think that is fair on them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting. I think we live in a hyper inclusive world, and like it's to the point where like there's disabled people that I've seen do certain roles that I just think, even me being like an EMT, let's say, could I learn the skills on how to revive somebody and help somebody out in the moment? Yes. But do I have the ability to be able to like lift them up into the ambulance and not slow the process down? I can't see. There might be adaptations for that. I don't know, but I can't see a world where that's possible. And so and I think one of the cool things is like that's okay. Like you can't do that, and that's fine. There's so many other things and so many other paths that you can take that are going to be right for you, that are going to be that you're going to excel at as well. Firefighting just isn't that for me. So I don't know. That was just do you have anything to?
No, I think you covered it all. I think everything you said there was spot on. I agree.
Okay. Well, we're nearing the end. A few kind of closing questions. What's one thing you hope viewers get out of this episode of us talking together?
To try things. I think a lot of the answers I gave probably came back to that same theme of learning from experience. And if you're going to do something, you're going to learn something out of it. If you're going to go into that lonely chapter, you are going to learn something out of it. If you're thinking of starting a podcast and it doesn't work out, you'll still learn something from it. Be less scared of failure. Change that reframing into calling it a hiccup or whatever other word you want to use that implements that you haven't failed. You've just learned something, maybe learned what you're not, and then cut off one road and just tried another one. Yeah. I think just go where your interests lie and just try things, experience things, fail at them, learn from it, and go again.
Yeah. Cool. Where can people find you?
On YouTube, Lonely Chapter Podcast.
Yep.
Same on Instagram.
Yeah.
And Spotify. I think Spotify and Apple, if you search Lonely Chapter, it will be the first one that comes up.
Okay.
But yeah, Lonely Chapter Podcast, it's like orange and white.
Yeah.
Or Sam Maclean, that will probably help as well.
Okay.
But yeah.
I will obviously link those in the description and all that. But before we end, I do just want to say, like, when I saw the name of your podcast, as I said, like, I knew exactly what it was referencing, and I was like, oh man, I cannot wait to talk to you, because I knew we would have like deep intellectual conversations, but this one definitely massaged the brain a little bit, and I really, really appreciate you for that. It's been a blast, and we're just at 3 hours, and I just want to say thanks for coming on, thanks for taking the time, and I hope somebody gets something out of this and follows you as a result, and latches on to the things that you want to promote.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it so much. I appreciate the invite. First guesting done, and it's probably the longest podcast I've ever been involved with, including my own. Right. So yeah, I've fully enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed the conversation. So I appreciate that. That's kudos to you as a host. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Just do you want to debrief after this for a quick second after I stop recording?
Yeah, can do, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll stop and then, but yeah, anybody, anyway, thank you guys for joining the Rolling Forward podcast. If you like what you heard, hit that like button, subscribe, or leave or drop a comment. I want to hear what keeps you rolling forward, or my next t-shirt idea, or something on this episode that you enjoyed. I definitely want to hear all your comments. So, and then if you also have an idea for my next t-shirt idea, this one is Rolling with the Punches. It's a guy in a wheelchair hitting a boxing bag. Let me know in the comments what you think my next t-shirt idea is. You can find this t-shirt and many more at rollingforward.printful.me. And if you have a story worth sharing, reach out. I'd love to talk to you and explore if you can be my next guest. Until next time, keep rolling forward. Thanks, everyone.